everyone. Welcome to Build Brunch, the daily morning show where we talk about the latest topics in pop culture. I'm Brittany Jones-Cooper.
I'm Shannon Coffey.
I'm Adam Rippon.
I'm Lucas Tim. Hi, everyone.
Today we're going to talk about why Instagram likes may soon be a thing of the past, Jim Carrey and Ariana Grande's heartwarming connection over Twitter, why Lizzo is a musical artist you need to listen to right now, and the reason your older sibling may be smarter than you. Plus, comedian and TV host W. Kamau Bell joins the table to discuss CNN's United Shades of America. But first,
I want to welcome our co-host, Adam Rippon. How you doing today?
I'm so excited to be here. How are you?
Oh, I'm fantastic. And I want you to tell us about your new show that you have coming out.
So I just launched a YouTube channel today.
Yay.
And on May 1st, we're going to be debuting Break the Ice, which is an interview show where I'll bring people onto the ice. I'll interview them for a little bit, but I'll blend it into giving them an ice skating lesson at the same time, which I've had so much fun doing.
And you have some big names coming on.
I do. I have Maddie and Kenzie Ziegler.
I love them.
I'm obsessed with them. They were so much fun.
Yeah.
And Lily Singh.
Oh.
Also love Lily Singh.
Yeah.
Gus Kenworthy,
Love
Tadra
Gus.
Call. We just have such like a really, we were really lucky to get together a really great group of skaters. Molly Burke is right there. I love Molly Burke.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Jasmine.
Could they all skate?
So, I mean, varying degrees of experience.
This was political answer.
Yeah, you're
no,
like,
they couldn't.
Yeah. I mean, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's funny when people fall, you know what I mean?
I think everybody had a really good time. Nobody got hurt.
Okay.
Good. Yeah.
Like physically, maybe emotionally, like taken down a peg or two, but like, yeah.
So you just mentioned Break the Ice will be exclusively on your YouTube channel. You just posted to your Instagram the trailer for the YouTube channel, which I've already watched like 5 times, but I would love to show everyone else here, so I think we have a clip of it.
Yes.
Oh, hey guys, I'm Adam Rippon. Some of you might know me as America's Sweetheart from the 2018 Winter Olympics. Others might know me as the winner from Dancing with the Stars. Regardless of how we met, get ready for something spectacular. My YouTube channel. You guys will now have VIP access to my life on and off the ice, Mondays and Fridays. And starting May 1st, save every Wednesday for my original series, Break the Ice, where I skate around with some of my famous friends.
I'm so attracted to you right now.
Stop it.
It's like a backwards twerk.
So join the party every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
love
Bring out the
it.
glitter!
Love it so much. So I'm so excited for this launch, this channel. But with the show, what's so interesting to me, it's like taking the talk show format, but putting it literally on ice, which I think hasn't been done before. So what was the process like coming up with that idea and then convincing people to get kind of behind it?
Well, I always thought it would be really fun to take people out of their element. I love chatting with people. I love getting to know their story. But I think when you're so focused on not dying,
Yeah.
that like you're more willing to like open up, and because you're like, this might be it.
Right, yeah.
I gotta get it out there. So we had so much fun, and it was an idea that I've had since the Olympics, that I thought it would be fun to combine 2 of my favorite things.
Yeah. What is it that you like about hosting, though?
What I love is having the chance to learn about somebody else. I love when somebody can come into a space and feel a little bit uncomfortable and breaking down those barriers right away. I love to make people laugh. And in a space where, you're feeling uncomfortable, where you're like, I don't know what I'm doing, it's really easy to break down those barriers and have a fun and really enjoyable time together.
Yeah. And it'll be cool because of course, like I became a fan of yours on Twitter during the Olympics. Your personality really came out. So it'll be really cool to see that now on camera. Not just...
Yeah, let's hope it works out. Yeah.
So YouTube channels today.
YouTube channel today.
Yes. Check it out.
Break the
guys.
Ice, May 1st.
Make sure to subscribe. In other news, Instagram users might end up in heartbreak as the platform may soon hide like counts on our posts. The change was first spotted by an app researcher who shared a screenshot of the prototype feature.
I'm very worried. I think this is a potential Bird Box scenario. Like, I'm talking like influencers in the street screaming, burning things down. This will disrupt society. Not since I say Trump's election will something hit us so hard if this happens.
I don't know what I'll do if I'm not validated through Instagram. But in the same note, that's probably why this is a good thing.
Yeah, I feel like it is actually very responsible of Instagram to hear all of our complaints, because I feel like nonstop we're always whining, being like, it's so hard to get likes. I feel bad about myself since Instagram became a thing. And Instagram's probably like, well, we don't want that to be our legacy. We were just trying to have fun pictures up. Let's just take away the likes.
You guys ruined it.
It's crazy though, but I mean, like, so many people base their like Instagram or like their like, I don't know. It's gonna be so. It's a Bird Box.
Think about the Instagays. I mean, that is a population of Instagram users that are so.
It's a demographic.
Demographic who are powerful. That's a powerful voting bloc. I think a lobby group in America. They will be destroyed if they don't know how many likes they get in their shirtless Coachella pic.
But here's the thing.
You'll know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll know how many likes you got, but other people won't. So it is kind of cool because it'll be like an even playing field. Like, I think it'll be better because people are afraid, like, well, how will we determine who actually is an influencer? Well, if you're a brand and you look at someone's profile and you think they're cool, you'll just link up with them because they're cool, not because there's numbers there.
Yes.
Sometimes I feel like brands align themselves with some trash-ass people because they have the likes, and they're still terrible people.
No, that's true. And people buy followers.
Buy
and
likes.
so I think the first
Buy
step
likes.
would be to get rid of the bots. I mean,
buy groceries first.
Groceries, books, maybe.
read some books, go on a vacation, go live your life. But yeah, I feel like the first step is cracking down on those bots, because that's part of the problem, is that you have these fake followers and people's profiles like blow up, but actually their engagement's really low. So I'm like, if they got rid of the bots and did this, I think Instagram could just be a really pure fun place where you can actually follow cool people, not based on bullshit.
Imagine that as Instagram, a fun place to enjoy each other. Oh my God, I get stressed out when I'm on Instagram. I'm addicted to it, but I can't even imagine it.
But I do find myself being a little precious with it, because, you know, basically if you do a post and it doesn't get a lot of likes and it brings down your algorithm and all that bullshit, I think it could be really freeing to not have to worry about
I would love to be free.
Yes.
You know, it's like I'm just changed to like the rhythm, as Katy Perry once said.
I feel like you're quoting like all these songs. Like first I heard, I want to break you. And then it like turned into Katy Perry. I'm like, oh my God, this is like a musical
it's because I'm just
tour.
trying to get up on the algorithm.
Yeah.
See?
Sneaky.
This is
Very.
gonna go viral on Instagram.
Yeah, it will.
The more you say Instagram in a video, the more they push it.
Ooh,
on.
I'm posting this
Oh,
clip.
wow.
I wish. Well, moving on, Jim Carrey and singer Ariana Grande recently shared a heartfelt moment on Twitter. Grande posted a quote from Carrey about depression on her Insta story, and then he praised her openness in a tweet, which Grande fangirled over. This is a really sweet moment. I think she's been really amazing speaking out publicly about her PTSD after the Manchester attack. I think that was really important because a lot of us were wondering, like, how can you go out and perform again after something so traumatic happened? And I think her saying, like, it's hard for me and it's a process and I've had to get help is so important.
Yeah, she even shared a brain scan and about to see like the difference between her brain and what would be a healthy brain. And it's just heartbreaking to know that she's like still like trying to give it her all. She's doing Coachella, which is a huge performance, obviously. And like, I can't imagine after what she went through going out to a big crowd and wondering like, what if this happens again? Because we all know it can totally happen at any moment, not to be like so scary and dark, but it's our reality.
Yeah.
And you know, she got hit by a lemon during her show, and that sounds really funny, but I don't think it is,
No.
honestly.
No.
I think it's so disrespectful. I feel like people put themselves on a stage. It is a vulnerable act to just perform at all. And if someone right now threw a lemon at one of us, I think it would hurt our feelings.
I would like to speak to that, and I believe it's connected to Beyonce and Lemonade.
Yeah.
I just like to directly to Beyonce fans out there. I'm one of you. We don't need to do this. Beyonce's an icon. She's a legend. We all know that. Let Ariana do her job. Girl's been through enough. She's good at it. Don't throw a lemon at Ariana. Thank you for watching.
It's bigger than Beychella, you know?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
bigger
It's
than
like,
Beychella.
Beyonce would not want that in the first place.
That the stan culture of when you love someone so much you have to hate the other person is really bad.
It's so toxic.
It's so toxic.
Take their likes away.
Seriously.
If I had that
Honestly.
power,
Yeah.
I would do that.
But I think it's so, I can only imagine to like have that experience. And even, I mean, that getting thrown something is like, you must think something's going on. It's
Yeah.
not fair, it's not right. And, you know, Ariana gives us so much.
Right.
Gives us everything.
But Adam, you've competed in front of thousands of people before, and you're probably so in the zone. I mean, you can you even imagine
Millions.
if something like live in a stadium?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's I even know from like my own experiences of being an athlete, you go out and you think about the things that happened in the past. But for me, they've always, and I've been really lucky that they've always been, my own experiences and my own world. But when it's something like that and it affects so many people and you were in danger, so many people were in danger, people lost their lives. It's a completely different story. And like, my hat goes off to her that she's being so honest and open about it. And really this interaction between her and Jim Carrey was just so like genuine, and it was so nice. And I think it's so important that so many young people and people, all around, people who use social media see this.
Yeah.
Also because they're stars in such different worlds, almost in different
Yeah.
generations. So them to talk about like both of them dealing with depression in some way, I think is really powerful because often maybe we find depression as like an adult or someone who's older suffers from, but she's saying, no, I'm 25, 26. He's what, late 40s, 50s, and both of them can connect on this. I think it's also really powerful.
Right, and there's so many celebrities. BB Rexa recently, Demi Lovato, obviously. It's so important because I think it's hard for us to understand when you reach that certain level. If you already had some stuff going on, everything is just exacerbated,
Yeah.
and you're in front of a camera and you're in front of these audiences. And I think to have the bravery to speak out about your mental illness is so important because we all kind of suffer from our own varying degree
Yeah.
of mental illness. I mean, I've had
Definitely.
anxiety in the past on and off. Like, why are we so ashamed to talk about it? Like,
Right.
who are we protecting? You know what I mean?
It is scary. Even as someone who's just like a regular person, I feel the pressure to put my best foot forward. And like, I've been, pretty open on this show about like depression and anxiety, but it is hard when you go to a doctor and you know that that's going to be on a form and you're like, is that going to hurt my opportunities in the future? Like if someone's looking at that, like it's just scary to go official because you think people might still like, it's still something that's very heavily stigmatized. So it is scary to be like, hey guys, some days I'm going to be dark.
Right?
Well, we love Ariana, so we'll be thinking of her. And don't throw any more lemons.
No more
At
lemons,
all.
guys.
Done
No
with
more
that.
lemons.
Bigger than
No.
Beychella.
Come on. Why has Lizzo become the latest pop culture icon? Well, gotta blame it on the juice, baby. With her song Juice climbing the charts as 2019's latest anthem, the singer, dancer, and flautist opened up in an interview with the Rolling Stone about her fears, dedication to self-love, and the release of her new album, 'Cause I Love You.
I mean, just that video with the Jerry curl and the 80s vibe.
So good.
So
the
good.
album cover. I recently saw her perform live.
Yes.
And I was like, this girl is killing it. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, I wasn't expecting it. She goes off stage and brings back the flute.
The flute!
Yes.
The
It's
flute.
the best thing in the world.
And I was like,
Kill me like
Your
that
soul
now.
has
I'm
left your body.
completely dead.
Right.
Like, it was one of the greatest things I've ever seen. It was one of the best live performances I've ever watched in my entire life.
Right.
Yeah. I fell in love with her. I actually went to a Two Dope Queens taping in Brooklyn in November, and she was on their musical episode. And I had heard like one song, Good as Hell, and like I liked her, but didn't know that much. Her personality is amazing. Her confidence is amazing. She brought out the flute. Not only did she play the flute, she was twerking with the flute. It was just like, she is so authentically herself. And she talked about how like, she didn't even think twice about being a big girl and dancing and being confident. People were the ones who made her feel weird
Right.
about that.
Yeah.
She was already doing it, which is why she's so successful, because it's her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also really love that she's 31. Like whenever someone like makes it big like this, I'm like, oh, it must be a fetus, all fresh and new.
Right.
And I'm like,
Yes.
I was so
Still covered in
excited.
fluid.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, the placenta is fresh. We gotta like wipe this person
Yeah.
down. And she's like a grown ass woman. I feel
Yeah.
inspired by that, and I just like love that her music is so. It just is a perfect like summer anthem, and I feel like we're seeing it in so many films and commercials because it's like the perfect soundtrack to like feel good. I'm like
Right.
consumerism. You got me. If you play Lizzo, I will buy your product.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as like an amateur dancer, I like to shake it up at a party. I love her dancing so much. When she was on Fallon months ago, whatever,
Yes.
the choreography, I mean, I want to learn every bit of it so I can pop that out when
5, 6,
I'm
7,
at a
8.
party. But also, speaking of the album, when you read the Rolling Stone interview, like you clearly see a lot of influence from Prince, who's one of her biggest
Yeah.
influences in her life, and that's why I love it. But my favorite song is called Like a Girl. It literally begins with, woke up
Feeling like I just might run for president.
and my Hillary Clinton loving heart, hearing that was just like, yeah, this is what Hillary Clinton sacrificed everything for. So Lizzo could say that in a song.
Yeah.
This is it. This is it. Like a Girl. But I just love any sort of feminist anthems, like a Girl, because course, growing up, you feel like a girl.
Yeah.
You talk like a girl. You dance like a girl. Shut up! Maybe that's a good thing. You
And
know,
there's an
like a girl.
ownership in it, and it's also
Yeah.
such an inclusive song because she's like, if you feel like a girl, then you are a girl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's positive messages on every level. of
Soulmate.
music. Oh,
That's all about loving yourself. I mean,
Right.
you're your soulmate.
She's just so like right now.
Yeah.
She's so current, and she's like talks about. She's another person who like is just so unapologetic. with
Yeah.
herself. She actually just did some interview with somebody, and there's a quote that's amazing. Like one, I think that she is incredible, and two, they asked her to rank like different soundtracks from movies, and she said that Jaws was lazy. And it was like, the quote is like, Lizzo says Jaws is lazy, and then they have a quote from the article. She goes, "It's 2 notes, bitch." And I'm like, she's just so quick.
Yeah.
And like, God.
it is nice to see that this is the voice of our generation, maybe. That
Yeah.
like it's something that we all feel included in and a part of. You know what I mean? Like I think that's really special.
Yeah. No, I think.
So whenever someone says the voice of a generation, I like cannot not think about Lena Dunham
Oh, God.
crying somewhere, being like, "But I thought I was gonna be the voice of this generation."
Oh.
And I'm like, "Ha ha ha ha!
Yeah.
ha. You're canceled, bitch."
That's exactly my point. That show catered to like a person. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? That's why I hated it.
It's just so much fun. Ugh.
And also, there's a song featuring Missy Elliott on the album called Tempo. So anyway, just download the album.
My only
Stream it.
argument
Yeah.
though, there's not enough Missy in that song.
There's not enough Missy. 'Cause
I agree.
Never
She just
enough
goes
Missy.
never.
Like a couple
Yeah.
times. and
Yeah.
it's
Never enough.
I'll take it. I'll take whatever I can
You know?
get. I
Yeah,
love
she did it
Missy.
like over the Notes app
Right.
on her iPhone, like in her apartment, and she was like, just
She's like, can you just airdrop that to
yeah,
me?
throw it on. Yeah.
Well, I can't wait. I'm gonna see Lizzo and May with my friends, so I'm stoked.
Oh, can I come?
Oh, I think they're sold out. Sorry. You should have been nicer to me
Yikes.
when I asked you out. Anyways, in a study by the Journal of Human Resources, they pointed out that firstborn kids may be smarter than their younger siblings. A professor at Harvard asked the same question to their incoming class. Take a look.
Do the test. Let's do a test here. Never mind economic class, those differences are very significant. Put those aside. Psychologists say that birth order makes a lot of difference in work ethic, striving, effort. How many here, raise your hand, those of you here who are first in birth order? I am too, by the way.
I hate that last
who
quote.
who
I
wants-
am too, by the way. Okay, Professor Turd.
This is some bullshit.
I am so triggered by this article. Like, I'm just gonna count. Okay, I'm just gonna go out there. My older brother is great. He's a very successful agent at CAA. He's great at his job. But I'm just gonna tell you a little story. He was maybe 11, 10. We're sitting around the kitchen table, and he goes, I'm like 7. He goes, Mom, where does milk come from? And I go, cows. That's my older brother, okay? So you don't tell me who's the smarter one, and you can check the SAT scores too, bitch.
Yikes. You are never gonna get signed by CAA.
Never.
Oh, I'm done.
You just screwed yourself.
Blacklisted.
You are over.
And your older brother's like, I am the smartest.
Yeah, it's like, hey, Lucas is done.
You're canceled.
I mean, I am the oldest of 6.
Oh.
So I can say based on,
You're the
the
smart.
truth is truth. But here's the thing. I'm definitely not the smartest in my family.
Okay.
My brother, who's younger than me, right under me, graduating law school.
Okay.
And then my brother right under him graduated with a master's degree in biostatistics from Columbia.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I'm just like the pretty sister.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is really important.
Well, honestly.
You're like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty and
Pretty
I'm
equals smart.
outgoing and I'm
Pretty equals
talented.
smart.
Yeah,
It
there's
gets you really
no
far in life.
degree for this, but I can put it in a frame.
But who's
Looks matter. You get free scones
Yeah.
and like people open doors for you. When I go outside, it's like a hell. People are like, brr, brr, and I'm like, I have the light, and they're like, pedestrians don't matter when they look like you. And I'm like, oh.
I love when you share stories of people just like bumping into you. Like
Yeah.
you're invisible.
Oh my God, it's wild. I seriously, when I'm on the train, I feel like people sit on me, and I'm like, there's someone here.
You know, I have a different approach to this because I grew up with 3 older brothers. And so I don't believe this because women are smarter than men. So I'm just smarter than all of my brothers. So this doesn't apply to my dynamic. Carry
You know,
on.
I believe. I'm the baby in my family, and my sister is, I mean, she really is truly so intelligent. She's a brilliant writer, and she's a librarian, and she, like, when she was growing up, they tried to skip her all these grades because they were like, she's a baby genius.
Oh, wow.
And my parents were like, no, we're gonna make her work for it. But I don't think I'm not smart. I think I bring something to the table, but I also feel like I was set up to fail because when I was only a few days old, my sister dropped me.
Sabotage.
And yeah, so like I fell and everybody says that I like did like little backflips in the air, hit the wall, and then fell on my head. And I was like, you know what? That's why I'm so spunky.
She was smart enough to sabotage you.
Funky, but also that's why you see like spirits and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
It's why I'm covered in demons right now.
Yeah, we can see it. But what's so funny about this study is basically it's like, well, you know, the first one, the parent's really attentive, the mother like breastfeeds, but the second one comes along, she doesn't give a fuck. It's basically what it says. But I think
Then
it's
you get
also
to the fourth one and it's like,
oh,
just
there's
don't
like
die.
let the TV raise it. Like by the plot from the TV, they'll figure it out.
By the time my mom had her 6th kid,
Yeah.
my mom was asking like people in the grocery store, like,
Yeah.
can you hold this?
Just real
It was
quick.
like,
Hold this.
I'll be
Oh my
right back.
God. I'd be like,
I'll be right back.
I
Yeah.
would steal a baby so quick. I'm so sorry, but it's the truth. Like if your mom handed me a cute baby, I'd be like,
It's
yeah, I'll
done.
take care of this.
yeah.
I'd be out.
We know that about you, and I'm glad the rest of the world does as well. But I think it does point to like roles in families when you're like the one of 6, or I'm the middle of 3, all the same gender. Like middle children, the Jan Bradys of the world. I feel for you. I love you. I'm one of you. Like I get it. It's hard. Like you have to fight for attention because the baby's like the diva, spoiled one. The older one's the most beloved because it's the first one. So I understand what the study's pointing to and how things get really hard when you're not. All right, just
This has been wildly triggering for you.
wildly. Just it was not easy, guys. My brother's ganged up with me all the time.
I know. It's okay, Luke, but look at all the muscles you have now.
Yeah.
That's why I do it. That's why. So I go, look at you guys. Who has the muscles now? I'm like, shut the fuck up, Lucas. You're weird.
I definitely do agree with the study when it says the youngest is more free-spirited and confident.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, of my siblings, I'm the one who like left Nebraska and wanted to do all this crazy stuff. My brother's like very content where they're at. So I do think there's something to that. You're like, my brother just visited New York and he was like, I don't know why you live here, but good on you. And I'm like, yeah, I wanted to experience life. They don't care.
I just think that like when you're the oldest, I had so many rules growing up
Right.
that my younger siblings just did not have to do.
Yeah.
Like my mom was like on my ass hole to not freaking do any shit anywhere. And then my younger siblings, I'd like, you know, I'd always be away from home. I was like training,
Yeah.
and then I'd come home and I'd be like, they're doing that?
They're smoking a cig, like, Adam, where you been?
Yeah, they're like, oh, you got a light? I'm like,
Right.
what is happening? This is a barn.
But shout out to your mom because you are an Olympian.
Yeah, that's true.
It works.
So your mom,
Yeah.
it's all because of her.
Thanks, Adam's
Thanks,
mom.
Thanks, Callie.
Well, moving on now, it's time for today's guest. Comedian W. Kamau Bell is the host and executive producer of the Emmy Award-winning CNN original series, United Shades of America. The show follows Bell as he explores communities across the nation to understand the unique challenges they face. Take a look.
Your Christianity, his ability to protest, her voice to the voiceless, their courage to fight, my mission. This season of United Shades of America, it all comes down to us. We are all the people.
Whoever voice I have to be, I will be that voice.
Time to get off my ass and do something.
When you ask questions, sometimes it effectuates change.
United Shades of America with W. Kamau Bell. Season premiere April 28th at 10.
Everyone, put your hands together for W. Kamau Bell.
Trying to figure out this couch situation.
You need an extra pillow?
I need other pillows.
Here,
I'll
take this
Here,
pillow.
take this one
Take
too.
all the
I'll
pillows.
give you all the pillows.
Pick up your feet.
I'm the very oldest millennial in the world, so here we go.
I'm right there with you, buddy. It's all
Here we
good.
go. Casual.
I love United Shades of America. I think
Thank
it
you.
starts so many important conversations. It's something that I'm constantly like talking to friends over dinner. So like mission accomplished.
All right. Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're done.
Bye, woo!
And success.
Yeah.
But you're going into the 4th season. Is it still fun for you to do? What keeps it engaging for you?
Yeah, it's still fun for me to do because every year I think we get clear about what the mission of the show is and better at and clear on how to execute it. And also I get to bring in friends since I've won a couple Emmys. I know you got that Dance with the Stars thing.
But I'm still looking for an EGOT. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm one fourth of the
Only
way.
4 more.
Yeah.
4 more awards.
I have 2. I'll give you one of my Emmys so you can.
You only need 1.
Oh, you're giving out Emmys?
I'm giving out Emmys.
Oh, I want one.
then I only have 0. I have to.
We
Okay,
can
well, I guess
share
put me
it.
on the. Okay,
You'll
thank
share
you.
it.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Sharon.
You'll co-parent the Emmy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like as I do more, I get to bring on friends. Like this season, Alicia Garza, who's one of the co-founders of Black Lives Matter, is in an episode. In the megachurch episode this weekend, Pastor Michael McBride, who's this great pastor out of Berkeley, is in the episode to talk about megachurches. And yeah, so April Ryan, as you saw in that clip. So I get to bring in more people who I admire or people who I think his work need to be highlighted. So yeah.
And it's a highly political kind of show. How have things shifted for you in storytelling since 2016?
Do you guys remember 2016?
Yeah. Doomsday.
We had a president named Barack Obama.
And then I blacked out.
No, it's been
I've been
like
crying a lot.
Yeah.
He
So
still cries every morning.
Oh, yeah.
that means he's really feeling it. Yeah. No, unrelated.
Different reason, but okay.
Yeah.
So we were the mood of the country was different, and I feel good that we got to start our show in that era.
Yeah.
So that by the time Trump was elected, it was like, oh, it's clear what the mission is. So there's no confusion about what we're supposed to do. The show is about creating a more inclusive, a more progressive, a more just society, and knowing that, as we say this season, it's on us. We cannot wait for people in Washington to do it. We can't hope that we vote for the right person. We can vote for good people, but it's really on us to build our communities. I'm gonna do this for me. I'm gonna do that.
And I think a common refrain that we've been hearing a lot since 2016 during that election and post that is that America's so divided. We're so divided, we can't unify or whatever. I think you recently said this show resonates a lot because people often say, well, this is the first time I saw my community represented on the show. Do you think that's the reason why, it's now going to 4th season, people are still watching?
I mean, yeah, yay, the country's divided so I can have a career. I'm not that craven, but first of all,
it's okay you would be.
As I've said before, the country's been divided since the first boat landed.
Started.
Yeah, since Columbus went to like, oh, I'm in India. No, that's when the country first got divided.
Yeah.
So, so I think the thing people who say that are people who were not paying attention. So I mean, you probably didn't think our families weren't like the country's so divided. We grew up in a divided country.
Yeah, I'm from Nebraska, dude. I know.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, that's hardcore.
It's rough, right?
Black in Nebraska. That's a whole episode. We'll do that in
a whole
season
show
5.
about it. For you.
Yeah. So it's for me that once we go to these places and sit down and talk to people, it's about building these connections, and also about people at home going like, I didn't know these people existed. We did an episode last year about the Sikh community, who's often confused for being Muslims or misidentified as Muslims. And there's all these people like I just got an Instagram message from somebody who goes, I didn't know I had Sikhs in my neighborhood. Some people say Sikhs. I didn't know anything about them. I saw your show, then I saw one of them in my neighborhood. I talked to them. I went over to the house for dinner.
Wow.
So for me, like there's the show right there. Like that's the show. It's not the show means nothing if you just watch and sort of then wait for the next thing. It's about getting into action.
Absolutely. And this season has a very interesting new theme song.
Yes.
Which I know is very significant. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, so the first 3 seasons, the theme song was the national anthem, sort of a sort of a discount Jimi Hendrix version of the national anthem, because he's very expensive to license.
Right.
So
we love a discount.
Yeah. So this season, I've been wanting to do this since last year, but this year's I think the 20th anniversary of the song "Lift Every Voice and Sing," the Negro national anthem. I can say Negro, and it's so we can say Negro.
I wasn't going to try.
I didn't think you were.
For the record.
Do I have that face?
You don't have that face.
Okay.
You don't have a Negro face. So the theme song is "Lift Every Voice and Sing," which is the Negro national anthem, which is the kind of anthem this country should have, instead of the national anthem, which references dead slaves.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's the new theme, and it's recorded by my friend Vernon Reed, who's a guitar player from a band Living Color, who had a song Cult of Personality back in the day. So it's like a friend of mine who's an incredible musician recorded the new theme, "Lift Every Voice and Sing." So I'm super excited about it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You had so many important conversations on the show. I wondered, do you have any favorites? Do you have any conversations that stand out or that you thought that really made a difference?
Well, the benefit I have that I get from the show is that I get to have the whole conversation. Like, so a lot of those conversations are an hour long, and they get edited down to like 4 or 5 minutes, sometimes less. And so I get to have the whole conversation, which I feel like that's actually I'm witnessing a better show than everybody else is.
Right.
So we did an episode in the 2nd season about Muslims in small town America outside of Detroit, Hamtramck, and Dearborn, Michigan. And we were supposed to meet with this young man who was an Orthodox Muslim, but also had recently come out as gay, and how he was still practicing Orthodox Islam while also claiming that it's okay to be gay in Islam, which, first of all, every major religion has problems with gay people. I don't want to like sit here and talk about the Muslims like every major religion has this issue. But I thought he was going to be this guy in crisis. So I went there like, I'm going to have to like really, he's going to be crying because he's got to go through all these things. And he's also like 21 or something.
Yeah.
And he was the most serene, gentle, spiritual person I'd met in a long time. And at the end of the interview, I felt better.
Right.
You know, so that I sort of went in going like, I'm gonna really help this young man come to grips with his.
And then you're leaving crying.
I was leaving like totally changed by the experience. That happens pretty often in the show. So yeah, that was a good one.
And then it must be so incredible to be in these like brainstorming sessions of how you come up with the concepts and you know, finding the people that you want to reach out to and talk with. What is
it?
That
Is.
like?
I mean, it's really exciting. It's the idea of like we have an episode this season where it was like, we decided we were going to go. There's one clinic in the state of Mississippi where a woman can get an abortion. And so the idea of going there is like, will they let us? Are they going to be okay with us? And it was just really exciting to be able to go there. And so those kind of things where you go, if we can get this on TV and show it accurately and not show it in a TV news sensational way, we'll be doing. Forget if I'm in it, just letting these people talk, mostly all women who work there, letting them talk is an amazing thing. It doesn't matter if the show is good or not. And so those types of things are exciting. Or when we went to Yuba City and did the Sick show, or the first season we went to San Quentin Prison and talked to men, lifers in San Quentin. Like, I feel like in those situations, the less I talk, the better the show is, because these people show up ready to talk, so.
Yeah. And then what about this season? What can we see you guys?
So this season, we have the opening episode is about mega churches in Dallas, Texas. Everything's bigger. Yeah, no, it's super good. Then we have the second episode. When I travel around, go to airports and coffee shops, there's a lot of fans of the show of all races and religions and genders and creeds. I still know what creed means, but
I do too. I used to listen to them.
Exactly. Oh, sing along. Let's end this on a sing along of a creed song.
She's spitting.
I know. I love that you're like,
So good.
Can't we talk about the problems in this country? We also, the second episode, so a lot of times white people will come up to me sort of breathlessly in coffee shops and airports like, what can I do? What can I do? It's so bad. What can I do?
They break out the song.
And so we have an episode that's called Not All White People, about white people who are doing things. So it's
I love that.
Not all white people.
Not all white people. So including like this place called the John Brown Gun Club, which are white, liberal, progressive, inclusive people, people who believe in inclusion, who are also Second Amendment gun advocates. So they show up to protect the Black Lives Matter protests or the immigration protests to sort of go, you're not going to, white people, Nazis and alt-right people aren't going to show up with guns to scare these people because we're white people, we can show up with guns and we can just, and create the peace. Yeah.
You're so good at keeping it fun. Like, how do you find that balance? Because it's obviously like a heavy topic, but you keep it light.
I mean, I think that like, it just so happens that the most oppressed groups of people, probably always in whatever country they're in, are always the funniest people. So I grew up in a household where my mom was talking about the civil rights struggle and the pain of losing Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X and how it affected the community. But there was always laughter throughout that because you can't process all that pain without relief. So that's where humor comes from. It's a defense mechanism or way to lighten your load when you're in the middle of like what seems like an impossible situation. Yeah. So for me, it's like, I am a comedian, so it's on my job description, but before that I was a person who was like hearing my family and friends laugh about things that situations that are on the surface aren't funny, but that's how you process the pain.
Yeah. Yeah. And you traveled to Kenya with Anthony Bourdain.
I sure did.
And I mean, obviously he's always about, going out of your comfort zone. And did that trip, does that still impact you? Like when you travel now, is there any piece of advice that he left with you?
That was one of the greatest experiences of my life, even before he passed away. I was like, I'm living in the bonus round. Like, if something happens and I don't get to do anything else, everybody who watched parts of Anthony Bourdain was like, I want to be across from him at that table. And so when I got to sit down the first thing to be across from him, I actually said like, I'm in the thing. So for me, and then not only making the show, I'd never been to Africa before. Kamal's a Kenyan name. I'm not Kenyan, but Kenyans always said you need to go to Kenya, so I went to Nairobi, went on safari, never been on safari. So it was all these new things, also with the greatest travel partner in the history of travel. And then we'd sit in the car, or after the shoot, we'd hang out, and he would give me advice about how to do the show. So this show is completely informed and dedicated to Anthony Bourdain's memory because I would not have a show at CNN if he didn't have a show, and this show would not be what it is without him giving me advice when we were on Kenya. So when he passed away, I was saddened, as we all were, as many of us were. But I was also like, oh, I now even feel more lucky that I got to go to Kenya with him. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that it inspired you and it inspired this next season because your storytelling, I think, is something so important and so needed, especially now. Thank you, W. Kamau.
Thank you. I'm clapping for myself.
And you can catch the season 4 premiere of United Shades of America April 28th at 10 p.m. Eastern on CNN. And thank you, Adam, for co-hosting today. We'll see the rest of you tomorrow, same time, same table. Bye.